morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you joining us for the second day of our webinars on history and applications of computer vision. We are delighted to have you all here, and we hope today's session builds on the insights gained yesterday and sparks even more curiosity and ideas for all participants. Once again, it's my privilege to welcome Mr. N. Mithun Babu, who is currently a scientist at CSIR4PI Institute, Bangalore. For those who are joining us for the first time, Mr. Mithun has completed his BTech in Mechanical Engineering from the National Institute of Technology, Rourkela, followed by an MS by Research from the Robotics Research Center at the International Institute of Information Technology, Hyderabad. His expertise spans robotics, reinforcement learning, and artificial intelligence, and he has made significant contributions to the development of intelligent systems and AI-driven solutions. In yesterday's session, Mr. Mithun gave us a detailed overview of the historical evolution of computer vision and its transformative potential across various domains. Today, he will take us further into the diverse applications of computer vision, showcasing its impact in real-world scenarios and exploring the exciting opportunities it offers for researchers and innovators. I encourage all the participants to post their questions in the YouTube chat. These will be addressed during the Q&A session at the end of today's webinar. Without further ado, I request Mr. Mithun to lead us through another engaging and enlightening session.
Thank you, Rina, for reintroduction. Welcome all of the people again who are joining back and who are new. So welcome to the session. As the session name states, I'll be talking about history and applications of computer vision. So let's get started. So briefly, on yesterday's session, we have handled a few things. First is how much complex the human and animal kingdom visual system is. It's more than 500 million years old, and it's quite diverse and complex. We see different configurations in the visual system, also different variants of the visual system itself. And also we looked at a key question, what makes a vision hard to make it transferable to a computer. So we understood there are three main factors. First is loss of information. Second is a lot of contextual information that humans use in understanding a scene. And third is a lot of computing is needed. We learned that more than 50% of our brain is dedicated for pure visual processing. Yesterday we also went through the history of computer vision, which is the first paradigm, which are observations, which we have been doing since 400 BC, might be even earlier. These are the existing written records. And second, we started to theorize the observations by starting from Greek philosophers to the great Leonardo da Vinci around 1500s. And third, we started to simulate and model the computer systems from 1960s to 2000s. And we have seen one application of such system, which is an face detector, which is released around 2001-2002 in a commercial setting in a Japanese camera company called as Fujifilm. Okay, so now we have still 2 points pending. Yesterday we answered how could we resolve the loss of information. We said we could use 3D sensors, or we could use more cameras. But still this two other things that make the vision hard are still pending, which is lack of contextual information. How do we transfer contextual information to computer? And a lot of computing needed. Our brain does a lot of computing. So luckily what happened around 2000 to 2010s and now, based on Moore's law, the computation has become expensively cheap, very cheap. And the quite new advanced computation systems started developing, such as parallel programming or GPUs, and these helped to tackle the third part of the problem, which is the enough computation needed. So now we have around 2000s to 2000 turns. The computer systems are being developed and they are becoming so cheap. Like, lot of compute is very cheaper now. A GPU card is available for few thousands of dollars. And how to add contextual information. This is where the data sets come. People in the computer vision community have realized a lot earlier that we need data sets to transfer contextual information. So example, to let know a computer what a cat is or what a dog is, you need to explain it, show it some images and say what a cat is, or say what a dog is, or say what a cat size is relative to a dog or a human, things like that. So this is called as the fourth paradigm of science, which is data intensive scientific discovery. That's why we are also called as fourth paradigm institute, which we do mostly data intensive scientific discovery. Along with, we don't forget the other three paradigms of science. We follow the three paradigms of science, following with the use the data to gain more insights. So earlier, around 2007, the Pascal dataset was developed, which consists of only 5,000 images and 20 classes. But it laid a quite foundation that these sort of labeling and annotated datasets are very much needed for the computers to gain an reasonable understanding of the world around it. So then Fifeli and its group from Stanford has released a dataset of 1 crore 40 lakh images of more than 1,000 classes. This is the ImageNet dataset, which was quite famous. It's famous till now. Labeling 1 crore 40 lakh images took quite a manual labor and cost, and they have held competitions yearly from 2012 to 2017, as far as I remember. And in these competitions, we started developing models which are able to classify up to 1,000 classes, up to accuracies, very reasonable accuracies, less than 7% error. So how did this happen? This is due to development of AI. Before I go ahead, I will tell one more interesting fact, which is that in every hour of our real time, 550 hours of video is uploaded on YouTube. So you understand the scale of data, right? Earlier we were talking about just 1 crore 40 lakh images. If we have to label 550 hours of data on where cats are, or where dogs are, or where students are, then it's quite burdensome, right? So we need to train an automated computer system. That's the purpose of sharing this slide. So then AI came as an interesting tool. So now why I am saying AI as a tool? Because AI is itself an research area, and it's an philosophy as such. And here I'm considering it as a tool for the computer vision problems to solve. So as a tool, I will say purely about the methods that AI use and how computer vision use it. So there are three major methods that are used in computer vision that are AI based methods, which is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So supervised learning means presenting the computer with tons of images. Okay. Sorry. Supervised learning means presenting the computer with a tons of images. Example, a teacher is teaching to a child. That's how child also learns. What is a cat? What is a dog? Show more examples of cat. But humans learn quite quickly. Computer needs millions of images. After showing the computer millions of images, if you give a new image of example a cat or a dog, here it's unlabeled, then it will say it is a cat or a dog. How are the systems trained? Whenever the systems make an error, we update the function, that is mathematical function, that's saying that it's a cat or a dog incorrectly, that you are saying the other way around. We use a loss function to update it. So that's how supervised systems are trained. Then reinforcement learning systems. So can everything be supervised? Like can everything be labeled as a cat or a dog? There is somewhere, can everything be 0 or 1? There will be gray area between, right? Which we can't specify things. So one such example to tackle these problems, one such AI tool to tackle these problems is reinforcement learning. So I'll give a very fundamental example. A baby is sitting around. He can do various things. He can chew a toy. he can cry, or he can crawl and get an feeder, the milk bottle, and he's hungry. So he can do various things. So he will explore various things and do the thing that is most rewarding to him. So in reinforcement learning systems, instead of telling a supervision that there is a milk bottle, you get the milk bottle, we'll say you explore the world, and whichever satisfies your need, whichever satisfies your hunger or your mood, whatever it might be, get that reward and improve upon it. That's what it says. A more realistic example is in our daily life would be, have you guys, most of you school, I'm targeting school kids majorly. So most of you guys have started learning how to bicycle, right? In bicycle, while cycling, you are not told how to pedal, right? Example, you are never told keep 30 Newton force at 45 degrees angle, keep 75 Newton force at 70 degrees angles. You are never given those commands. You are just handheld by your parent from the behind, and whenever you are able to ride on a straight line path, they will clap. This clap is a reward, and you satisfied being moving on a straight line is a reward. That's how you learn most of the things. So reinforcement learning is also a prominent tool which most computer vision systems use to develop in the real world. And the third system is unsupervised learning. Sometimes data is so huge. Example, we have given an example. In every 1 hour, we are getting 550 hours of new video on YouTube. Now, this video can't be labeled individually, right? So what unsupervised learning does is, given some data, it will identify groups among it. The groups are also called as clusters among it. So this is one way of doing it. It can't label the groups. Example, given some photos, it will say there are 3 groups of things. It doesn't know that the first group is cat, second group is cow, third group is dog. It will only know there are 3 groups of things. This sort of learning is also useful. Most of the cases, how do you identify your weakest subject in your examination? So you group things, right? Okay, this lesson is hard to me, this lesson is easy to me, but you won't label this thing. You won't give your any custom score that this lesson is 5 rating to me, this lesson is 6 rating to me. You will group those things and you will try to work on these things, right? So that's how an real example of unsupervised learning. So using these as tools, AI has exploded a lot. So if you see here, this is an AI tool called as deep neural network. We give some image. Here I have given a face as input. This tool can be using one of the approaches that we said earlier, which is supervised learning, reinforcement learning, or unsupervised learning, to do one of these things. Here we are telling about supervised things like identifying a cat, identifying where the cat within the image, identifying different objects, which is called as object detection. Also even telling which pixels the cat is lying, instance segmentations. And our computer vision systems have progressed so much that they are able to identify that a cyclist is on a bike and a bike is on the road, and also the relations between them. Cyclist is sitting on the bike is running on the road is empty. These things, relations are also being derived. Now you can understand how our earlier prompt, that cat leading a study group that I have given yesterday, how the computer was able to imagine things. It has been given lots of cats images, lots of study group images. It found relations. Now we asked it to generate a new image and it's able to generate it. Now again, diving back to basics, this is the stuff that all the AI tools do, but what is happening at the below them? So this deep neural network is nothing but a complex set of mathematical functions built on more complex set of mathematical functions. Example, here the first column is a set of mathematical functions. Upon them, a lot more mathematical functions are built, and so on. But again, if you dive back in and understand what these first set of mathematical things are learning, you will see they are learning edges. It again boils down to yesterday's work by Hubel and Wiesel. If you remember, the cat, they have kept 2 electrodes and found out that the initial part of the brain is just recognizing edges. So our AI systems are also well developed. They are also learning the edges in the first case, and then developed a combination of edges as new features, and then learning new object models. So we were quite inspired by Hubel and Wiesel's work. So were the AI people, and that's how we are progressing. And now with this exploration, with this exploding, I'll go into the applications. So there are many applications of computer vision. I will go into detail of few of them, but let's broadly picture out what are they. Everyone can think of. Tell me some names. I'll give 2 seconds. Okay, some examples are robotics. Some examples are autonomous driving. Medical applications. Maybe we are not clear how it can be used in medical. Gaming. Anyone heard about Xbox Kinect? That's Xbox Kinect. Accessibility. Now you upload a photo on Facebook or Snapchat. It says you are near Niagara waterfalls, or you are near so and so. Update your location and stuff like that. So on all these applications, computer vision systems are mostly used. So to broadly say, I will highlight the areas that our 4PI is doing. I am slightly biased because I'm working here, but these are most important ways in which computer vision systems are being used in real world, in healthcare, in automotive, in retail and e-commerce, and manufacturing, for agriculture. So let's not delay. Let's dive into a few examples, understand the advantages, the needs, and how they are useful. So the first example, medical. So everyone might heard about cancer, right? So cancer is a thing that we are trying to tackle over past 20 years. And detecting early cancer is very tough job. It's so tough job that first they will take a tissue or a sample from a human thing, and then trained pathologist who has been trained more than 15 years will observe this sample under the microscope, and then he will, after observation, lots of observation, sometimes he spent 3 hours, sometimes he spent 5 hours, and after observation he will identify some particular cancer cells purely based on his experience. So can we automate this thing? Because all the human is doing is observation. So Google did that. Google developed a microscope. If you see, the green areas are being highlighted so it's able to identify. The microscope will be along with the pathologist. It's identifying the parts of the region that pathologist should observe more closely for the presence of cancer cells. What are the advantages? Earlier, for each to identify cancer, early stage cancer, it used to take 10 hours or 2 days or 3 days. Now it takes just few hours with the help of this microscope. Now, because it takes only few days, it become a lot cheaper. It's more accessible, so we can identify more people. It's good, right? We are able to tackle, and cancer can be tackled at early stages very easily. So these systems are helpful quite a lot. And the second medical example I would give is, this is a modern robot called as Da Vinci. It's by an European company, I guess, called as Intuition. It's a robot that has four robotic arms, and it has very high definition visual system, which you can see now. That's the camera, which is high speed camera, and it has 4 arms which can be controlled individually by the doctor for doing the surgical operation. This is where the doctor sits. He observes through these cameras and does the surgery. He handholds these forceps and does the surgery by moving the 4 arms. An example will be presented right now. If you see, the doctor is using the forceps, trying to handle the stitching part of the surgery by looking at these things. So what's the role of computer vision systems here? First, it separates you can see the stitching, robot doing stitching. So first it separates the human body, the human body on which the surgery is happening upon, from the doctor. It avoids a lot of contamination. Second thing, certain things can be repeatable. Example, someone came for stitching midnight. The doctor may not be available, right? We might lose a lot of blood. If an automated system is there that could do these tasks, it will be a lot more useful, right? And yes, these surgical systems are not yet mostly used in India. As far as I guess, there are few companies which use it, but quite soon, as per my belief, it will be within tens of years only. These systems will be prominent around India. And I forgot to mention in the earlier slide, which is the cancer research. Dr. Asha, who is an senior principal scientist here, she works on explainable cancer. So these AI models sometimes work as black boxes. How can we make them more explainable? And also she works on rating the grade of the cancer, the severity of cancer. So this is some work happening here. And games. So many people might have watched cricket, right? Cricket or football. You might have seen DRS, the decision review system, which says whether an LBW is happened or not. Also in the football, whether a penalty kick should be awarded based on the boundary passing the goal or not. Or in badminton, whether it touched the net or not. So all these systems use advanced vision systems along with some other tracking devices. Example, the ball tracking device is also there. Here you can see the lot of compute setup that is necessary for the decision review system, that is the DRS system. Hawkeye, one example is, you won't see this, you will only see the decision, and this is how they are used in games and things quite a lot. Example, here you can see the vision system immediately taking whether it's on the line, whether it was a no ball, or whether it hits the wicket based on the landing of the trajectory. There is a lot of modeling and things going on. And one more thing I would like to introduce within the games is this. If you see the small camera like thing here, this is called as Microsoft Kinect. It was introduced in early 2010s, where you are able to play the games without computer. Without controller. Sorry, without computer it's not possible. So without controller. So here is one example where you become the controller. So the camera will be observing your hands, your legs, your gait, or how your face is moving. So example, here you can see the lady driving a car by just moving her hands. So that's quite interesting, right? Now you can tell to your parents, Mommy, I'm not sitting physically on the sofa, I'm not also doing physical exercise. That's a one cheat way to play games, right? So in gaming system, in entertainment system also, the computer vision system plays an important role. Here the entire thing is done by pure visual system. They use different types of cameras and different patterns based on IR camera, and certain patents were developed around it, which were very famous. And agriculture. So agriculture is one of the base of our country, and it's the more than 50% population is dependent on it. How can we make agriculture more sustainable? Example, a farmer generally takes 20 kg of urea or 30 kg of urea per acre and just spreads it. He doesn't know where nitrogen is or these things are. But advanced drone systems can identify where the diseases are or where pests are and spray insecticide or pesticide where it is necessary. So we are having a mission mode project here led by Dr. Rakesh. Our aim is to develop a serviceable sort of setup, UAV setup for farmers, and we have quite some fields in southern India, over Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and we are trying to develop this system which is far more approachable to farmers. And this is sustainable farming. We are not using too much. We are being organic. We are thinking about our future generations. And next goes into the robotics. So I work on it, but not up to this level, playing with real robots, but I work in simulations. So here we are training an robotic system. Example, if you see, we are training a robotic system to handhold a cup of jug by using cameras. Cameras can be seen on the top here. So these robotic systems are used where? Example, if you see manufacturing of cars, you need to do welding, right? And this welding is a very complicated operation around a complex part. So this welding thing is automated by a robotic system. How does a robotic system do? It observes through vision sensors, it knows where it needs to weld, and it welds the system. So quite some systems are there around robotics. And autonomous driving. We are all excited, right? For driving is boring. Not at all cases until we have a very clear road, but driving is boring. We spend a lot of times in Bengaluru traffic just waiting around. So here a company, an UK based company called as Wave, trained an autonomous car to drive on a circular path around a ground by just correcting. So whenever that car is doing wrong, this is reinforcement learning. So we are just correcting it. So with just 20 minutes of correction, the car is able to learn how to drive around it. So if you speak about 4PI, Dr. Nagaratna, Dr. Patra, Gopal Krishna Patra, who is a chief scientist here, are working on not on specifically autonomous driving, but ways in which these deep learning systems or machine learning systems can be made more robust for autonomous driving. And heritage and archaeology. So everyone might have known about Colosseum of the Rome, right? So with computer vision systems, we will be able to 3D construct the Colosseum by just taking the photos of the tourists. So tourists takes photos at various places, right? From all the photos we collect from the Facebook or Google, we are able to 3D construct the entire Colosseum. Where is it useful? Example, day after tomorrow we'll find a temple which is thousands of years old, and we can't touch the temple. If we touch the temple, it will fall down because the structure stability has quite been disrupted. So what we will do, we'll send a small robot, we'll take a lot of photos, we'll 3D construct the temple around it. People can explore in the 3D view around it. So it's used for structure, heritage and archaeology also. And last two examples, the last but one example, in the retail and e-commerce, people might have been using this lens cart and these things quite a lot, right? So here this woman is trying out the dress on the go. So she's choosing colors, she's trying out various things. Now you can see a lot more different patterns of dresses and a lot more different variants of dresses, even without trying them. Once you like some sort of dresses, you can go and try them on, but the variants of the dresses you can try is expanded a lot by these computer vision systems. And these are in quite nuanced stage. These are not quite developed yet. This is the edge of the industry plus academia, where these systems are being developed into the real world. And video generation, yesterday there was an example. So the deep fakes, so this is a Bill Gates originally speaking about his company, but then a deep fake is generated by a lip sync company, which does Bill Gates say something else, which is about how he trained a model and something like that. So computer vision systems are also used to develop these things. How is it useful? We know the disadvantages of deepfake. We can spread the false information, but how is it useful? Example, we want a video of example, our astronaut, one astronaut who has less video forms taken about him. We can feed these video forms. Example, we have Mahatma Gandhi. We have few videos of Mahatma Gandhi, right? Now we can feed these videos into Mahatma Gandhi to a computer vision system and say, generate more videos of computer vision system to delivering so and so speech or inspiring the nation to do so and so. So these things can be done. It is used for artificial data generation and used quite a lot. Also, how to stay away from this? Yesterday, as I mentioned, there are many tools. One tool I suggest is Microsoft Video Authenticator, which you go and drop the video in there. It will say whether it is authenticated or not, so that you stay away from fake videos as such. Yes. So broadly, what's the thing? So we have seen how computer vision systems are developed and how they are being used, but everything is happening with the help of AI, right? And our institute, this CSIR4PI institute, is built around it. We are developing advanced AI systems. So what will be one piece advice you can take away, which is AI won't replace humans. Like it's an subjective belief. Many people will say, like many people like Musk will say, it will be replacing around few tens of years. But I would say it will take quite some years. But humans using AI will replace the humans not using AI. So any human who is using AI for his help. Example, you want to do a creative video generation, creative content generation for your YouTube channel. You use AI tools to do that. Or you want to have you want to know about the lesson that teacher taught in the class a bit more, like who wrote this lesson, or like what was great about that guy. Then you can do this with the help of AI. So please be equipped with AI. Don't misuse AI. Please be equipped with AI, and it will help you a lot. And this is a slide that I kept especially because it's targeting school kids, and some introductory bachelor students with the permission of Pavitra. So, free advice, this free advice. So always take free advice with an care, but do talk with many people. So first thing, for if you are an 8th grade or 12th grade student and you were quite interested on what I thought, acha hai. So I understood these things. Now how can I do it? So first thing is, please be good with math and science, and the only way to be good with math and science is practice. It doesn't come inherently. You have to do a lot of practice. And second is, explore beyond textbooks. Participate in the Olympiads, science Olympiads, math Olympiads, computer Olympiads, participate in scientific fairs, participate in do-it-yourself scientific projects or any projects, do-it-yourself projects at home. Be forever curious. Always ask questions, no matter how stupid the question is. The question, if not asked, is more stupid. If you ask the question, you will get more clarity, right? Else it will stay as a question within you forever. Look for mentorship. So ask your sisters, brothers, brother or sister, I want to read so and so. Where to do that? I am highlighting one CSIR program called as Jigyasa Epic Hackathon, that our Jigyasa guys took an initiative where we invited ideas from all the people. Then throw on your ideas, explore what's new and throw on your ideas. And we have paid the people and we mentored the people, and they have developed the ideas into products. Now there is a competition that's going on. So this is where CSIR4PI can help. And please stay updated. Read things such as Scientific American, Reader's Digest, or articles at least once a week, or at least technology section of your local newspaper or the Hindu or any good newspaper. If you're bachelor students, you have already passed this stage. So again, the forever advice will be curious. Start with a course and a practical project. There are tons of material. Few materials I suggest is MIT OCW or Stanford or NPTEL. Do internships and final year projects. In 4PI, we offer something called as 4PI Spark program. So get your feet wet, like understand what's going in there. Don't be stopped with a surface level knowledge. Develop skill, communication and networks. So broadly, this is the advice I give. And these are the references that I have cited earlier. And so these are the 3 courses if any bachelor student might be interested in. This slide will be there for a few minutes. I request the admin people to keep it there for 2 minutes. These are the 3 courses that if you'd like to dive into computer vision or specifically deep learning based computer vision. And these are textbooks. If you're a textbook sort of guy, you can go through these textbooks. So yeah, with this thing, I would say thanks. And first, I would say thanks to Jigyasa team, especially Pavitra, Gayatri and Reena for providing and for taking such an initiative to inspire school kids. I'd like to thank the FMS team, especially Suvarta, for handling this session with an uninterrupted pace and always having a backup. And CSIR4PI for providing me a platform to express my understanding of computer vision to school kids. I hope it inspires 1 or 2 people. If it inspires more, I will be more excited. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for an informative session. We have some questions from the audience.
Sure.
Yeah. The first question is, how can explainable AI help in improving fairness and reducing bias? What challenges exist in explainable AI?
Okay. So to the people who are new to this, explainable AI talks about AI system being explainable. Like example, so currently many AI systems are black boxes. So what features is it reading? What features is it understanding? To explain it more, it's called as explainable AI. Can you repeat the last part of the question?
What challenges exist in explainable AI?
Yeah. So there are quite some challenges. So first one is, first let's talk about 2 ways of dealing with it. Explainable AI improves fairness and reduces bias. That's good. But also it limits certain things. Like example, to make it explainable, we may lose some downstream performance. So if you're okay in losing downstream performance and we are targeting fairness and these things, then quite good to explore more into explainable AI. The challenges would be there would be a point, I would imagine, where a computer need not explain human what it is in order to understand a thing better. A computer understood what a cat it is. Should it explain to a human for a better performance? That question always arises, right? So this is one way a bottleneck for us to do more explainable AI. But explainable AI is very important in critical fields such as healthcare, where if you're identifying a cancer cell, we must know what is it looking to identify a cancer cell. But in certain fields like video generation or other things, explainable AI would not play a very vital role as far as my goes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. The next question is, what are the key challenges in deploying computer vision systems in real world scenarios?
Yeah, there are many challenges. So this is a very broad question. So I'll handle it in one way. So in most of the computer vision applications that are released, deployed into the real world, the most of the compute or the inference happens on the cloud, and the image taking part or the data receiving part happens on the platform or the mobile phone. So the in future, so the more difficulty arises when we target entire India, when you want your product to spread entire India, where the server access or the cloud access is not that easy, or it has high amount of latency. Example, you take a photo, it takes 10 seconds to upload into the cloud and 10 seconds to get a reply back. So then edge computing and other techniques where you can do inference on the system, on the mobile device or on the Raspberry Pi that you are holding, will hold quite some importance. So this is one major challenge with computer vision systems, and also a lot of noise. So the noise, so computer vision system, like a bearing, if you use quite a lot, it degrades. A computer vision system or a model will also degrade over time. So we need online retuning or updation of the model weights for it. So we need to take into consideration.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question. In future, which are the areas computer vision can be applied in future?
So for that question, my simple reply would be all areas. So can you imagine your life without having any visual inference? It's very hard, right? So computer vision will be useful in most of the areas, but in areas where human error is more. Example, human becomes quite fatigued while driving. So that is one area. Or doctors are always undersupplied. In our country, there are only 5% of the requirement for 100 patients or around such that. So where human observation is needed, and humans are prone to error, doctors are more fatigued or driver is more fatigued. These are the areas where computer vision will have huge impact. Like a system developed with some explainability, like the question asked earlier, with some explainable features or with some explainability to it, so that it will make it more authorized, will be the vast areas of research.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Today's discussion on the diverse real-world applications of computer vision has truly expanded our understanding of how this transformative technology impacts various fields and the exciting opportunities it holds for researchers and innovators. I'm sure everyone has gained a deeper appreciation of computer vision and its potential for shaping the future. To our audience, thank you for joining us over these 2 days and for your active participation through your thoughtful questions and interactions. We hope these webinars have provided you with the knowledge and inspiration to explore new directions in your academic or professional journeys. Once again, a big thank you to Mr. Mithun and to all of you for making these webinars a success. Wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.